Have you ever found yourself lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, while your mind races with endless thoughts? Maybe you replay conversations from the day, worry about tomorrow, or imagine every possible outcome, good or bad. It feels like your brain just won't turn off, no matter how tired you are. You try to distract yourself, but the thoughts keep coming back, looping over and over, making it impossible to relax or fall asleep. Overthinking is something almost everyone struggles with, yet few people talk about how deeply it affects our lives. It can make us anxious, restless, and even paralyzed by indecision. We start to doubt ourselves, question every choice, and lose touch with the present moment. The more we try to control our thoughts, the more out of control they seem to become. But what if there was a way to break free from this mental prison? What if you could finally quiet your mind and experience real inner peace, no matter what's happening around you? In this video, we'll explore why overthinking happens, how it steals your happiness, and, most importantly, practical, proven ways to stop it for good. If you're ready to reclaim your mind and find calm in the chaos, keep watching. Overthinking isn't just a harmless habit, it's a silent thief that robs us of our time, energy, and happiness. When you're caught in a cycle of endless thoughts, it can feel like you're living your life on pause. Instead of enjoying the present, you're stuck analyzing the past or worrying about the future. Simple decisions become overwhelming. You might spend hours debating what to say in a message, replaying a conversation you had with a friend, or imagining every possible way something could go wrong. This constant mental noise doesn't just make you tired, it can lead to real anxiety and stress. You start to feel like you're never doing enough, never making the right choices, never living up to your own expectations. The more you think, the more you doubt yourself. You might even avoid taking action altogether, paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake. Overthinking can also affect your relationships. You might misinterpret what someone said, assume the worst, or become overly sensitive to criticism. Instead of connecting with others, you build walls of worry and suspicion. This can lead to misunderstandings, arguments, and a sense of isolation, even when you're surrounded by people who care about you. Physically, overthinking takes a toll as well. It can keep you up at night, disrupt your sleep, and leave you feeling exhausted during the day. Your body stays tense, your heart races, and you might even experience headaches or stomach problems. Over time, this chronic stress can weaken your immune system and make you more vulnerable to illness. But perhaps the most damaging effect of overthinking is how it steals your joy. Life becomes a series of problems to solve, rather than moments to experience. You miss out on laughter, creativity, and genuine connection because your mind is always somewhere else. The world feels heavier, and happiness seems just out of reach. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Millions of people struggle with overthinking every day. The good news is, it's not a life sentence. By understanding why we fall into these mental traps, you can start to break free and reclaim your peace of mind. Why do we get trapped in endless cycles of overthinking? The answer isn't as simple as, just stop worrying. Our minds are wired to think, analyze, and predict. This ability helped our ancestors survive, by anticipating danger, planning ahead, and learning from mistakes. But in the modern world, this survival mechanism can backfire, turning helpful reflection into harmful rumination. One major reason we overthink is the desire for control. We want to feel safe, to know what's coming next, and to avoid pain or embarrassment. So, we replay conversations, imagine every possible outcome, and try to prepare for every scenario. But the truth is, life is unpredictable. No matter how much we think, we can't control everything. The more we try, the more anxious and frustrated we become. Another reason is fear, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear of the unknown. When faced with uncertainty, our brains go into overdrive, searching for answers and reassurance. We convince ourselves that if we just think a little more, we'll find the perfect solution or avoid disappointment. But this rarely works. Instead, we end up stuck in a loop of doubt and second-guessing. Perfectionism also plays a big role. Many of us set impossibly high standards for ourselves. We want to make the right choice every time, say the right thing, and never let anyone down. This pressure leads to constant self-criticism and over-analysis. We become our own harshest judges, picking apart every decision and action. Social media and modern technology can make overthinking even worse. We're bombarded with information, opinions, and comparisons. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives to others, wondering if we're doing enough or measuring up. Every like, comment, or message can become a source of anxiety, fueling the cycle of overthinking. From a stoic perspective, much of our suffering comes from trying to control what is not in our power. The ancient Stoics taught that we should focus only on what we can control, our own actions, thoughts, and responses, and let go of everything else. When we obsess over things outside our control, we waste energy and create unnecessary stress. It's also important to recognize that overthinking is often a habit, not a conscious choice. The more we do it, the more automatic it becomes. Our brains create well-worn pathways, making it easier to fall into the same patterns again and again. Breaking free requires awareness and practice, but it is possible. Finally, overthinking can be a way to avoid uncomfortable emotions. Instead of feeling sadness, anger, or fear, we distract ourselves with thoughts and analysis. It feels safer to stay in our heads than to face what's really going on inside. But this only delays healing and keeps us stuck. Understanding why we overthink is the first step toward change. By recognizing these patterns in yourself, you can start to challenge them and choose a different path. In the next section, we'll look at the real-life consequences of overthinking, and why it's so important to break free. Overthinking doesn't just stay in your mind, it seeps into every part of your life, often in ways you don't even realize. The most obvious consequence is anxiety. When your thoughts are constantly racing, your body reacts as if you're in danger, even when you're perfectly safe. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense up, and you might feel restless or on edge. Over time, this chronic stress can lead to more serious health problems, like high blood pressure, weakened immunity, and even heart disease. But the impact of overthinking goes far beyond physical symptoms. It can paralyze you, making it nearly impossible to make decisions. You might spend hours, or even days, agonizing over a simple choice, afraid of making the wrong move. This indecision can lead to missed opportunities, regret, and a constant feeling of being stuck. Life starts to feel like a series of obstacles rather than a journey to enjoy. Relationships also suffer when you're trapped in your own head. Overthinking can make you overly sensitive to what others say or do, causing you to misinterpret their words or actions. You might read too much into a text message, assume someone is upset with you, or replay arguments long after they're over. This can create distance, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflict with the people you care about most. Creativity and productivity take a hit as well. When your mind is cluttered with worries and doubts, it's hard to focus on the task at hand or think outside the box. You might procrastinate, avoid challenges, or give up on projects before you even start. The fear of failure or criticism becomes so overwhelming that you'd rather do nothing than risk making a mistake. Perhaps the most painful consequence of overthinking is how it steals your joy. Instead of living in the moment, you're trapped in a cycle of regret about the past and fear about the future. You miss out on simple pleasures, like laughing with friends, enjoying a meal, or appreciating a beautiful day, because your mind is somewhere else. Life becomes a series of worries to manage, rather than experiences to savor. Over time, this constant mental noise can erode your self-confidence and sense of self-worth. You start to believe that you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough to handle life's challenges. This negative self-talk becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, making it even harder to break free from the cycle of overthinking. The good news is that these consequences aren't permanent. By recognizing the impact overthinking has on your life, you can take the first step toward change. In the next section, we'll explore practical strategies to help you quiet your mind, regain control, and rediscover the peace and happiness you deserve. But what if you could break this exhausting cycle? Imagine waking up in the morning with a clear mind, able to focus on what truly matters, and finally feeling at peace with yourself and the world around you. What if you could make decisions confidently, enjoy the present moment, and stop letting your thoughts control your life? The truth is, you don't have to be a prisoner of your own mind. Overthinking is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed. It won't happen overnight, but with the right tools and a little practice, you can learn to quiet the mental noise and reclaim your sense of calm. In the next part of this video, we'll dive into practical, proven strategies that will help you stop overthinking and find the inner peace you've been searching for. Get ready to take back control of your thoughts and your life. Now let's get practical. Breaking free from overthinking isn't about forcing your mind to be silent, it's about learning new habits and perspectives that gently guide your thoughts in a healthier direction. Here are several powerful strategies, rooted in both modern psychology and ancient stoic wisdom, that you can start using today. Mindfulness is the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you notice your thoughts spiraling, pause and bring your awareness back to your breath, your body, or your surroundings. You don't have to empty your mind, just observe your thoughts as if you're watching clouds pass by in the sky. Try this, set aside 5 minutes each day to sit quietly and focus on your breathing. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Over time, you'll find it easier to catch yourself before you get lost in overthinking. The Stoics taught that peace comes from focusing only on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. When you catch yourself worrying, ask, is this within my control? If the answer is no, practice letting it go. For example, you can't control what others think of you, but you can control your own actions and responses. By shifting your focus, you'll waste less energy on things that don't matter and feel more empowered in your daily life. This ancient Stoic technique involves imagining the worst-case scenario, not to scare yourself, but to realize that you can handle it. When you picture the worst, you often find it's not as bad as your mind makes it out to be. Try this, the next time you're stuck in a loop of worry, ask yourself, what's the absolute worst that could happen? And if it did, how would I cope? This exercise can help you put your fears in perspective and reduce their power over you. Writing down your worries can be incredibly freeing. When your thoughts are swirling, grab a notebook and write everything out, no filter, no judgment. This process helps you organize your thoughts, spot patterns, and gain clarity. You might notice that many of your worries are repetitive or unrealistic. Once they're on paper, they often lose their grip on your mind. Make journaling a daily habit, even if it's just for a few minutes. It's unrealistic to expect yourself to never worry or analyze. Instead, set aside a specific worry time each day, maybe 15 minutes in the evening. During this time, allow yourself to think about whatever is on your mind. When the time is up, move on to something else. This technique trains your brain to contain overthinking, rather than letting it spill into every moment of your day. Overthinking often leads to paralysis. The antidote is action. When you find yourself stuck in analysis, pick one small step you can take, no matter how minor. Action breaks the cycle of rumination and builds confidence. Remember, you don't have to have everything figured out to move forward. Progress is made one step at a time. Physical activity is a powerful way to interrupt overthinking. Go for a walk, stretch, do some yoga, or hit the gym. Movement shifts your focus from your mind to your body, releases tension, and boosts your mood. Even a few minutes of movement can make a big difference when you're feeling mentally stuck. In today's world, we're bombarded with news, social media, and endless notifications. This constant stream of information fuels overthinking. Set boundaries for your media consumption, turn off notifications, take breaks from social media, and be selective about what you read or watch. Give your mind space to rest and process, rather than constantly reacting to new input. Be kind to yourself. Overthinking is a common human experience, not a personal failure. When you catch yourself spiraling, don't criticize yourself. Instead, gently remind yourself that it's okay to have these thoughts, and that you're learning new ways to cope. Self-compassion reduces shame and makes it easier to change your habits over time. If overthinking is seriously impacting your life, don't hesitate to reach out for help. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or mental health professional. Sometimes, just sharing your thoughts out loud can bring relief and new perspective. You don't have to use every strategy at once. Start with one or two that resonate with you, and practice them consistently. Over time, you'll notice your mind becoming quieter, your decisions easier, and your sense of peace growing stronger. In the next section, we'll look at how others have overcome overthinking, and how you can stay motivated on your own path to inner peace. Change isn't easy, and breaking the habit of overthinking takes time and patience. But remember, you're not alone on this journey. Even the greatest minds in history, philosophers, leaders, artists, have struggled with racing thoughts and self-doubt. What set them apart was their willingness to face these challenges and keep moving forward. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite ruling an empire and facing constant pressure, he wrote in his journal about his own struggles with worry and anxiety. Instead of letting these thoughts control him, he used the principles of Stoicism to find clarity and strength. His words have inspired millions for centuries, proving that it's possible to overcome even the most persistent mental battles. You, too, have the power to change your relationship with your thoughts. Every time you catch yourself overthinking and gently guide your mind back to the present, you're building a new habit, one that leads to greater peace and confidence. Progress may be slow at first, but every small step counts. Celebrate your wins, no matter how minor they seem. Maybe you paused before spiraling into worry, or you tried journaling for the first time. These moments matter. Over time, they add up to real transformation. And if you ever feel stuck, remember, seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Reach out to friends, family, or a professional if you need it. You're capable of more than you think, and your journey to inner peace is worth every effort. Now it's your turn to take action. Try out one or two of the strategies we discussed today, maybe start with mindfulness or journaling, and see how they work for you. Remember, real change comes from small, consistent steps. If you found these tips helpful, let me know in the comments which technique you're going to try first, or share your own experiences with overthinking. Your story might inspire someone else who's struggling. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on stoicism, self-mastery, and personal growth. Together, we can build a calmer, stronger, and more resilient mind. Thanks for watching, and remember, peace of mind is within your reach. As we wrap up, remember this: overthinking is something everyone faces, but it doesn't have to control your life. With the right mindset and practical tools, you can quiet your mind, make better decisions, and finally experience the inner peace you deserve. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to a calmer, more focused, and happier you. If you found value in this video, please give it a like and share it with someone who might need these tips. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss new content on stoicism, self-mastery, and personal growth. Your support helps this community grow and brings more wisdom to people just like you. Thank you for watching. Remember, peace of mind is possible, and your journey starts today. See you in the next video.